Hey guys, sorry
Hello.
about the delay. We're having some tech support getting this all hooked up. And so I'm Kris, I'm teaching this program, and we were just going over Etsy. We have 3 makers here in the library, and we're talking about our products and what we sell. So the first thing I had everyone do was go to Etsy.com and look at the homepage. The homepage is going to tell us that there's a whole section for new people. If you're just getting ready to sell, and you could just click on that button at the bottom of the Etsy homepage that says Sell on Etsy. And that will bring up a whole barrage of informative materials that will demystify everything about selling on Etsy, including some very powerful tools and classes and a whole seller's handbook. So I suggest to start there, and it'll tell you a little bit about what Etsy charges, and there's the 20 cents. Let me try to. For our rows, I'm just trying to share this screen and get minimize this. Exit. Okay. There we go. Thank you.
You said go to the bottom and go to Sell on Etsy.
Here we go. Okay, so yeah, here's the Etsy homepage, and when I scroll down, there's the Sell on Etsy. So this is where I suggest to start. And once you click on Sell on Etsy, you will see a little bit about what Etsy is about, how much it costs. And here we go again, the 20 cents listing fee. That's active for 4 months or until you sell that product. So if you sell a t-shirt, it's 20 cents to list that. And then if you sell it in 10 colors, it's $2 to list that. So just keep that in mind. 5% transaction fee, 3%, and then a quarter for each transaction. So that kind of adds up. But we start on Etsy because we've got 89 million people there already looking for handmade and unique goods. That's why people go to Etsy as opposed to Amazon, is because they're looking for stuff that's quality made and unique and handmade. So they're already there. Your audience is already there looking for stuff that you make. Other tools in this learn to shop, this Sell on Etsy page are the Etsy Seller Handbook, very important. And so once you click on the Seller Handbook, they have every article you can think of, and then you can also search for something specific. But they have all categories of photography, how to take best shots of your product. And then we'll talk a little bit about how to shoot your product. Shipping. Shipping's one of the little more complex but easy things to set up. Etsy, Etsy has a free shipping plan where if you allow your customers to have free shipping, you're going to get shown in the search results. You have more of a chance of, you will rank higher than someone who doesn't offer free shipping. So Etsy favors free shipping stores. So you just have to keep that in mind. You have to really go into how much your product costs to ship. And you could go to USPS.com and you could enter in the height, length, and width of your product and the weight, if I didn't say that, and it will tell it where you're shipping it to. I would choose a few locations like Arizona, California, places far away, and you can get a good idea of how much that product will cost to ship. So when you offer free shipping, you add that price into your product. There's getting found. And one of the most important things once you come up with your great product is how to find the product. So this is all falls under the category of SEO, search engine optimization. And there's some basic ways to optimize your product to be found in Etsy, and that's with keywords that your customer is going to put into the search bar to find your product. So you have to think of those keywords, or you have to research those keywords. And one best way to research those keywords is to go right on to Etsy.com and put in what you're looking for, or what you think your product would be looked for by, and it will, like in the top search bar, if I'm looking for, if I make a blue velvet purse, well, there's no other search terms that are going to help me. If I make stuff out of blue velvet and I want to see what people are making most, I put it in the search bar, and that'll bring up the top keywords that people are using to buy products. So if I click on blue velvet shoes, if I'm making blue velvet shoes and I want to see how many other people are doing that, I can see here that 1,500 other people are coming up for blue velvet shoes. So that's a good way to do your keyword research. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Good, thanks. It's okay, welcome. So we're just going over some quick ways to get to understand Etsy and how it works. And what we did first is we went to Etsy.com and we went to the bottom of the page and we started looking at the learn to sell section, sell on Etsy. And so sell on Etsy also has the seller's handbook linked to it, which gives you all these articles and many different blog topics on anything that you wanted to know. There's also some other educational tools in Etsy. Etsy University, which is courses where you could sign up for live and recorded courses. And that's something that's really find the link. That's not it. So there's courses. Support and education right in front of me. So yeah. We'll find the courses in a minute. Teams is another thing where you could join another group of sellers that are selling stuff that you're selling, or that they're in the New Haven area, and you can form a community with other sellers where you can ask and answer other people's questions. So if you're in the business of candles, you could go to the Teams page and type in candles, and you could find, you can filter by location, but then you could find other candle makers that you could get in and have get involved in their discussions, probably about how to best ship their candles, how to buy their packaging, where they source their wax, stuff like that. So this is all part of the Etsy community. Here's the handbook. Here's the forums, which is a place you could just go and ask questions and see what the topics of discussions are without having to join a team. And there's also those courses. If I search for it, I will not find it. Let's see. Etsyu.etsy.com, and I'm sure I just overlooked the link because I'm rushing. Etsy University, all free courses, featured courses, upcoming workshops, past. So if you go into the past, you could see all these are live events. Here's a section on ads, or a course on ads, where you could buy ads on Etsy. So Etsy will allow you to purchase ads right through them, and they'll promote your product to the top of the searches. So there's a lot going on with the educational offerings. There's also podcasts. So Etsy has its own podcast. I have listened to many of these. They're wonderful. So whatever you use to listen to podcasts, you could just search for Etsy, and this is just a transcript of one, but so here it is on Apple. It's called the Etsy Success Podcast, and they interview a lot of other makers, and they talk about how they made a successful shop on Etsy. So there's tons and tons and tons of podcasts in here that will help you understand how Etsy works. Anyone on Etsy now? Okay, so one word of advice, or several words of advice, to get your page up and running if you don't have one yet, is to work on it behind the scenes, and don't launch it until it's got a good amount of products there. So if you have 40 products, you only have one listed, and you're excited to launch your shop, I would wait till you have it fully optimized, which means do your keyword research, get your keywords into those homepage titles. We'll look at those in a second, and then launch it when it's got something substantial to show users. Because if people say they only have one product, if they come across it, they might shop elsewhere, and the algorithm within Etsy will see that people don't find that you have a quality shop, and then you'll just stop ranking. And then once you do open your shop, keep adding products they suggest a daily basis. So if you have a large product line, you could key up a lot of products ready to go, and maybe release one a day after that, because then Etsy, the algorithm, will see that you're active, that you're a quality seller. And then once you start seeing sales, you start selling, that'll increase your rank even more. So for some, what
is a good number to start off with?
Okay, so let's just look at an Etsy homepage. If this would just stop going to this website. Let's look at someone's store. So So a store could hold, let's just say, looks like 40 to 60 products on the homepage. So I would say if you've got, like at least maybe 12. I mean, if you have only one flagship product, that's a different story. But you see, if you only had like 2 here or 3, and not looking like a full store. So I'd say maybe between 16 and 20, depending on what you sell.
I have a question.
And so if we just look at how someone listed this product, I can see that this is the trick that people do to get there. It's not really a trick, but people put what they want their customers to find them by in the first couple of words of their title. So very important. Your first couple of words don't want to be nondescript. It wants to be exactly what it is. And those keywords want to go into a couple other places. So when you're filling out your product, you also get to write a description of it. The description does not get looked at by the algorithm. The title gets looked at first, and it also looks at the categories and the tags. So this product was categorized by arts and collectibles, by prints, and by G. Clay. Those categories are similar with tags. So when you're writing up your product, and unfortunately I can't log in, you will see that there's an area to write your tags and write your categories. So you want to put the fact that it's whatever they're looking for in all of those sections. So landscape oil painting needs to be in their tags, title, and categories. If it's in all those places, the more score you have at ranking high for that search. So it's one thing to have a product, it's another thing to get it found, and these keywords are very important. Let's just talk about photography for a minute. By the way, do you know how many pictures you can add on Etsy? This one looks like it has more than 10, but no, it's 10 total, and you should take up all 10, because pictures are what eventually sell your product. And you could add 1 video. Videos have proven to sell more products on Etsy. So videos can be of different things. This is a close-up video showing the details. There's no sound. You can record it with sound, but once you upload it, it will eliminate the sound, so keep that in mind. And your videos could be up to 15 seconds. So when you go to add your images, Etsy will suggest what type to add. So if we go back to it'll give you all kinds of diagrams of different shots that you can add for all 10 pictures. So back on sell on Etsy, I wish this bar wasn't here. If you're in the seller's handbook, how can anyone do this? In that photography section, this is your Bible. Always go back to the seller's handbook. So the photography section has 21 articles. And the first one is 3 types of listing videos. So those are the videos that we were just talking about. What types of videos? They say that take a video of the close-up details, take a video of someone using your product in action and your product in its natural environment. So if you sell stuff for outdoors, take a video of someone wearing it outside. So that's a very good article on video taking. And then there's an article on how to take listing videos with your smartphone. So smartphones are just fine. You don't need to buy a special camera, and it'll tell you how to use lighting, how to stabilize your camera, how to frame your shot, and some other advice on lighting and whatnot. Does anyone know what a good background should be for your image or your product? Solid and light. White if you can. So very light background, nothing distracting. So it's good to shoot on a white table or white sheet. Usually sheets have wrinkles, so try to use a table with a piece of white paper. And if you have natural lighting in your home, it's best to take your products by the window. Make sure it's a little diffused so it's not showing glare, no flash, and clean backgrounds. If you have no way to clear up your background or clutter, you can remove it in Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, there's free image editors online. If you just Google free Photoshop, you can find a bunch of free apps. My favorite is Pixlr.com, and it has most tools that Photoshop comes with, but it's all free. So that way you could give your products a nice clean background. You can add some animation even, and that could turn into one of your videos. Anyone have any questions? Thank you. Okay, awesome. Bye.
I have a question.
Anyone have any questions so far?
Hi, I have a question.
Is this like an introductory thing? Because I'm sorry, I missed a few minutes.
That's okay. Yes. Yep. Totally. Just an overview. Yep. We're not really getting into creating an Etsy account. That's the easy part, and it'll take you through. So once.
Yeah. But my question is, how do we get to that university?
Yeah, so I'm sure I'm overlooking it because I'm going very fast, but if you start at Sell on Etsy, you go to the homepage, go to sellonetsy.com, and at the bottom, there's the guide, there's links to the handbook, there's links to courses, there's links to the podcast. This page will help you. And then there's also these tools, support, stories. So that's where we could find all that information. If you can't find it, I just Googled Etsy University, and it gave me the URL, which is
Okay.
what was it? Let's do it again. So I know it for myself. No, it's someone's store. It's just Etsy U. So yeah, Google Etsy U. Actually, if you just go on the seller's handbook, you'll find the link to it. And then there's the community, it'll bring you to this link, community.etsy.com. And that's where you could find links to the forums and the teams that I was talking about earlier. Any other questions?
Are we
don't
gonna
forget
cover
about the Etsy
fees?
Success podcast.
Hi,
So
are
they
we gonna
they
cover
really give you a
fees?
lot of tools to become a successful seller.
What else should we think about in terms of SEO?
Okay, good question. In terms of SEO, so you want to think about what other things people are going to search you by, and a lot of people search by like what color they're looking for something in. So when you want to come up with keywords, say you're selling a painting, oil painting, you're going to be ranked or put up against thousands upon thousands of other people selling oil paintings. So you want to get into what's called a long tail keyword, which would be a little bit more descriptive. So if you sell oil paintings of cats or animals, it would be animal oil paintings or cute cat animal oil paintings. The more specific you get, the more chance you are of getting found for a more specific keyword. So you start with some of the main keywords here, because Etsy only looks at, I believe it's the first 60 words of your title. So when you're starting to, no, I'm wrong on that. The whole title gets looked at, but put your keywords. It favors the ones towards the beginning, but if you look at some others, you'll see that people put a lot of their search terms right in the title. So SEO title, and then get specific with keywords, and in your tags, make sure you're able to tag your product. So if I'm in just the handbag section, and I see to the left, there's a bunch of other colors and styles. These are very important for your SEO. These are how you're gonna tag up your product. So you're allowed a certain amount of tags, and so utilize every single tag. If you, or I think it's maybe 20. So if it's 20 tags, then use all 20, and make sure you are able to put every color that it comes in, the style it is, the period of time it's from, the way it's made. So tags are very important for SEO. So your tags, your categories, and your titles are what will make you get found.
We have a question in the chat. If we have a product line that even when completed will be less than 12 products, do you recommend us use Etsy? As of now, I will only have 4 to 5 products and line is complete.
Yes, if your product line is just 4 or 5, you could, and that's complete, then yes, you could use Etsy. It's not going to look like your shop is empty, because that's your product line. Some people, that's all you have to sell. But it's good to test that product. So if you only have 4, maybe you want to take that one product you have, or all 4, and write them up in different manners, like post them a few times with a different title, with a different picture, so you can study how people are finding you. You don't get penalized for listing a product multiple ways and people don't always shop they hardly ever by looking at your entire store. They usually just push something in the search bar, and one of your products could come up, and one of your other ones that's the same product might not. So that's a good way to extend your only 5 products, is just list them 3 or 4 different times with using different keywords and different images. And that way you can see what people like more and what the algorithm likes more. And Etsy has a section when you set up your site called stats, and that's your store stats. That'll show you how many people bought your product and what keywords they put into the Etsy search to find you. So if I could maybe find a screenshot. Any other questions in the chat?
One comment earlier, I'm on Etsy, but don't know how you utilize Etsy for potential.
Keep going through those educational tools. Yeah, so success doesn't happen overnight. It could be from 1 week up to 3 months to get your first sale. So it's just once the algorithm starts picking you up and you start showing up, and then once you get your first sale, then your search ability will just start compounding from there. So yeah, the keywords, the stats that come up in Etsy in your store is very valuable to look at. I'm just trying to show a screenshot. So it shows, if you could see this, how much money you've made. You can search by a date period. And then if you drill down in this, it'll show you what keywords and where they came from. If they came from an outside source like Google or another search engine, it'll list that. But this is your sidebar once you set up your Etsy shop, which only takes 5 minutes. You'll see all these along the side listings. And then there's some marketing tools where you could offer coupons and email those to your customers. Stats. Another tool that if you're really wanting to, and you can make a living off of Etsy, is this tool called erank.com.
I have another question now. Can one sell one of the kind available items on Etsy or must products be available to be sold in local quantities and for repeat orders?
Can they sell one-of-a-kind items? Yes. And can they?
Or unless they be available multiple times for repeat
No.
orders?
You can have a one-off and sell it. People really love if there's
And
only,
we try to get one of a kind.
yes, exactly. So eRank is a website where you could actually have a free plan, and it'll help you come up with what the keywords are. It does the keyword researching to help you understand what people are using to buy your product for. And then there's a paid version, but I encourage you to sign up for this free tier here, and it'll just start giving you some information of how many sales are being generated by certain keywords. So that's erank.com. And then, first I would start with the Etsy search bar itself. So if you sell candles, so what kind of things are candle people looking for other than just candles? And this search bar itself will, so if you think of, let me list my candles by paraffin candles. No one's doing that, so maybe you don't want to do that. If soy candles. So there's tons of soy candle keywords that are being added to the used by users in Etsy to find products. So play around with this search bar to see what the popular keywords are. And let's just, I have a presentation, but it's on my other computer. Let me just see if so we went over the seller's handbook, teams and forums, Etsy University, your brand. So if you're just trying to establish your brand, you could look at other people, what they're doing. So if you're a candle maker, soy candle, when they talk about your brand, that means the mood, the feeling that is evoked when someone clicks on your site. So your brand, your images want to be all have the same look and feel. They kind of want to have like the same coloring, the same backgrounds. This one has a little more salesy types of images. But and then if you go to your shop itself, they allow you to add images to your own site, where you get this logo here, which is important. There is the name of your store, and then there is you, and you get to put in a picture of yourself. And what Etsy encourages you to do is make a personal connection with your buyers. So put in a good picture of yourself and make sure everything is consistent. Make sure that your store name matches your logo, and make sure your store name isn't taken. That's another thing that you should do, is do a little search for a store name. It's recommended in your store name to have it be your store name, which is either you or whatever you named your store, and then the product that you're actually selling, because that will help users know that what you sell. So if it's something obscure like banana cookies, maybe you sell that, but in your store name, have what you sell. It's a good word of advice. And then once you come up with your store name, go and secure those on social media. Because to be an expert seller, you're going to want to share your products on social media, and Instagram and Facebook are the best places to do that. You could sell them under your own personal profile, but if you have a business profile with the same name with a link to your Etsy shop, it'll help drive more traffic to your Etsy store. And what is also suggested is, once you do launch your store, the first people you want to share it with is all your friends and followers. And if you have Facebook already, announce that you've opened your Etsy shop, link to your shop. You might want to just link to a product every few days in your Facebook feed. So yeah, you don't have to open the social media, but it's one of the best ways to drive traffic to your Etsy site. So that's naming your store. Then the pictures we talked about, have clean backgrounds, no clutter, make sure they're light, and see how this person, you can tell what their brand is. They have a cohesive look throughout all of their products, and so they're evoking a very simple, clean, elegant type of look that doesn't hurt your eyes when you're looking through their entire feed. There's a whole type of cohesion going through. So has anyone had a hard time photographing their products? You tried doing it in different lighting? So it's recommended to do it near your window. If you're doing it outside, make sure it's a cloudy day. Best recommended to do it inside near your window with not a lot of direct light.
We got another question. My artwork is digital. I need to find a way to digital images on merchandise to sell, or can you sell digital images or sell, or can you create digital customized illustrations?
You could totally just sell your illustrations. You don't have to put them on products. So if I want a drawing, a cat drawing, some of these are already framed, but some that you could just buy the file, and that makes it a lot easier when you're setting up your store. You don't have to worry about shipping. And what you do is you put up a low-res JPEG, and you could even custom commission, like people don't have to buy the image here. They could just upload a picture of their cat and you can paint their cat, and the final file, the final product is the file download. So if it's something here that's already ready to buy, you click on it, you pay for it, and then there's a feature in Etsy to spit out the high res version once they pay for the product. So yes, a lot of artists are just selling their designs, even if it's like a wallpaper design. You could just download that yourself and then buy the wallpaper on your own, or have the image framed on your own, or just print it out to your own printer. So there's a lot of type of digital, trying to look at like who's, a lot of digital files that are being sold on Etsy.
Is there anything we have to be mindful of as we're putting digital files up there?
As far as, well, they do say that they don't like watermarks. So if you have a watermark through it saying, you know, your name or something that's obscuring the photo, it will hinder your ability to rank high in search results. So I would stay away from putting anything in your image like a watermark. The digital uploads, they just want a JPEG. I'm not sure what the size limitations are, but I actually put a GIF on my shop, and so their product is a download of a GIF, but they don't see the GIF until they buy the product. So I give a JPEG still of what that would look like, or I actually did put a watermark in it because I didn't want people downloading it. And in that case, I send that link directly to people I know might be interested. I don't want to bank on Etsy ranking me high because I did put that watermark in. So if you're selling animations, there's a few different tricks to maneuver to get your product found.
You got another comment? Yes, I have a difficult time.
You have a difficult time taking pictures. Well, I guess my suggestion would be to take a lot, put them in an album, and look at them with your friends and family, and look at ones that appeal to them, and see what is up with the picture. What would you do differently? If it's lighting, try taking it at different times of day near your window. Also on Etsy, there's instructions on how to make your own light box. So,
Also, at the library here, we have small light boxes that you need.
Oh.
On each side, so people can come and view those.
oh, awesome. Where are they?
They're in the closet. Just ask them, Jess will bring them up.
Okay, so there you go. So the library has little light boxes, and there's a lot of natural light in the library.
Yes, we have some very nice big windows. So we can sunny day.
Nice big windows. And they, if you don't have a tripod for your phone, you could just use a coffee mug, and
We also have little tripods for us.
they have tripods here too. There you go. And you have the Macs here that have the Creative Suite, Adobe Creative Suite on them. So if you want to do some Photoshop to your images, all the stuff is right here at the library. So yeah, I was saying that there is an article in Etsy in the seller's handbook, how to make your own light box. So what else? So your brand, we talked about that. You are allowed a cover of banner photo along the back. And what's really important to your brand is who you are. So Etsy has a section of allowing you to list your bio. So I would take up that whole space. So when you are looking to buy something and you want to learn about the seller has their own section where they write about themselves, and they also are able to put images in this section where they can put images and videos in this section showing processes of how they make their products. So this person doesn't have anything, but yeah, very important to fill out your bio when you are making your profile. And you can add images and videos to your bio. It's very important to creating your brand. Creating a listing, we talked about that. How to price, Julia went over that with you last week. Pricing is something we always struggle with because we don't take into consideration how long it takes us to make the product, and we undervalue our own time. It's very common to only take what cost materials were plus shipping and say, okay, let me double that. But then you're not paying yourself for all your time and labor. So shipping is, pricing your product is something you want to really spend some time on. Another good thing to do when you're pricing your product is just to look to see what other people are selling stuff for, your competitors. Look up your product exactly, see if you can find something very close to it, see how much it's selling for. You don't have to undercut them, you don't have to be near them. Even you could go somewhere between making a profit and being able to get people to be interested in your product based on its pricing. You could put that product on sale. So in your marketing area of your account, there's a sale area where you could put everything on sale. It's in that sidebar, and you could even generate a coupon, and you could email that coupon to people yourself, or it could send it to everyone who has liked your product. You could favor products in Etsy, and then Etsy will allow you to, it will send people a coupon if they have hearted your product. You could, let me get back here. A lot of people go to Etsy.com and they search for just what's on sale. So I believe on the home page, there's a section of just what's on sale. Not saying that right now, but anything that has like the screen slash 15% off, you could just search by those items that are on sale, and those will give you a percentage off with a green dollar amount indicating that it's on sale. So you might want to mark it up at first and then show that it's on sale. So what you want to do is just do a lot of testing and write down, keep a spreadsheet of what you do and what's sold. And the more you pay attention and the more you keep tweaking, the better your products are going to sell. So like I said, free shipping is favored by Etsy. So try to offer free shipping and add the shipping price into your product. And you could ship through Etsy shipping, and you get a discount with the United States Post Office if you ship through Etsy shipping.
I see on Etsy that they have the section for Black-owned businesses, and how, you know anything about how the algorithm looks at that?
No, I don't, but that's, where did you find that in?
I was looking at, on the main page, gift and cards at the very end. It says gift box, gift for her, gift for kids, Black-owned Etsy shop.
Okay, well, that's If they have it in the menu, then that's very good optimization for that. So you went on gift cards
At
or?
the very, very top, of the website, they have, only favorites, the only accessories, and then on the right, it says gifts and gift cards.
Okay, cool. Black-owned Etsy shops. I don't know why that's under gift. It's not. That's pretty cool. They should get it out of that menu. Yeah, I don't know how you would.
Just think about SEO, but anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome that they have this. So I know that there are people of color in Connecticut as a group. So you could get on that group in Etsy itself, and I'm sure there would be a lot of information. Cool.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Any other questions so far? So packaging is another important thing to keep in mind. Your packaging costs could add up, making you need to increase the price of your product. But packaging is very, very important. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube of people unboxing their stuff from Etsy. People on Etsy really take pride in the unboxing experience and their packaging. So I think to start, if you have a small budget, I would buy some stickers with your logo on them and put that on your boxes or on the bags that you pack your items in. And then when you start getting up there with being able to bump up your packaging, there's this you'll get better advice out of the Etsy groups and the packaging groups within Etsy. But anyone ever hear of Sticker Mule? So stickermule.com has some good small run sticker offerings where you could get some stickers with your logo on it for very affordably. But they also offer custom mailers where you could get your actual mailers with your logo on them. So Sticker Mule is a good place to go to look at some shipping equipment, some poly mailers and whatnot. But definitely a good place to go to get some, if you just want 50 stickers, it's a possibility with Sticker Mule. So packaging, teams, we went over. The upfront work is a lot of getting your product, pricing it properly, and then getting it listed. But then there's a whole other ballgame of actually getting that product found, and that's where we use our keywords in our SEO, in our titles, categories, and tags. And then we want to share that product with as many people as we know. And that's a good place to start is Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is a really good place to add your process videos. If you could take videos with your phone of you making your product or just a little clip of it, and you show that on Instagram and you hashtag it appropriately, and you can put your Etsy link to your Etsy shop right in your Instagram bio. So I would suggest to go to Etsy.com, go to the start to sell, and you could open your Etsy shop but not publish it live. So you could just start working on your bio, gather your images for your products, gather your content for your products. I would kind of maybe have that offline in a Excel spreadsheet or a Word doc or just a text file. So you have that at any time if you want to tweak your language to post it elsewhere. You always have a list of your products on your own computer. So get that already up front with your images, your pricing, and then start writing your bio, and then list your products. And as soon as you get enough to where it looks somewhat complete, and I would launch your shop and start sharing it with your friends and family. And if in a couple months you have no movement, you might want to look into the Etsy ads. It could start as low as $1 a day, and Etsy will boost your ads to the top of the line based on what you're selling. It'll cost a little more if you're selling something that's very competitive, you're competing with other people. Etsy also has an ad program where it will advertise your products outside of Etsy off the site. So if people are looking in Google for your product, you could get found that way. And then you could also purchase a Google ad with a link to your Etsy store. But I would start with the grassroots type of telling your friends and family about your new products, and maybe even giving some away to get people interested. And then once they do buy it, really encourage them to write a review on your product on Etsy, because then the algorithm will start looking at the reviews. If you get a 1-star review, your product will start faltering in search results. So quality, 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 quality is what Etsy buyers are looking for.
Without a comment, Move.com is great for stickers, labels, cards, stationery, etc. as well.
Moo.com, okay? Moo.com has some good pricing on, and they have some unique sizes of business cards. So they really stand out, and you can get unique printed. They could all be different if you want. So good advice there. Thank you for that.
There's a question, how do you list yourself in the platform shop? Did we not know about that?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I would imagine you would just, I really don't know, but I would imagine you would be asked upon setting up your shop. That's a good question.
You said stickers, you know, replace pins?
For what?
Pins?
Pins.
What type of material?
Yeah.
Enamel pin,
Can't believe- Let's see what, how about Etsy? So yeah, they're probably very, very custom, unique pins. I'm sure Vistaprint might have some pens. Vistaprint, 4imprint.com, 4over.com. There's several promotional sites. Any other chat comments? Okay. So that's all I have. If anyone has any other specifics, please ask. But I encourage you to go to that Learn section and sign up for those courses. Even if you're just not doing anything, you're laying on the couch, just watch one of those courses or listen to a podcast and sign up for a group and start building your community. Use your messaging. You could message your customers in Etsy. That's one of the things that makes it so powerful. It allows you to become very connected with your buyers In that way, you can message back and forth. You can ask them how your product, how it's doing, how they like it. They can ask a lot of questions before they buy it. So you can develop a relationship with your buyer through the messaging part of Etsy. Yes. Okay, in general, for SEO, name your images what they are. Your pictures, your phone will take a picture and give it a file name that makes no sense. A lot of letters and numbers. Get rid of those and name it what it is. Something very simple. No spaces in the file name. Use hyphens. Blue suede shoes. Very important for Google to find your stuff. Other things for SEO is your alt text. When you're putting in an image in a website, you can give it some alternative text. Tell it what it is. Those are for people with visual impairments and for Google screen readers to say, if they can't see the image, they at least know by the alternative text saying what it is. And in your descriptions, even though Etsy doesn't look at it to rank, Google will. So when you're writing stuff up for your website, put as many keywords in the paragraph text and in the beginning, towards the beginning. So keep in mind have a list of what you think and what you know people are going to look for you by, and just flood those words throughout your copy. So a lot of people say, I'm not being found for, I have an attorney, I'm not being found for for me being a criminal attorney. Well, it doesn't say that anywhere in your website. So it's not going to guess. It doesn't know. You have to put it there. You have to put it there multiple times, in the images, in the paragraph text, in the titles, in your headlines, in your page title names, in your metadata.
We've got another question in the chat. Please talk a bit more about various Etsy groups.
Okay, let's so if you go to the Learn section and you go down, how did I get to the groups? Anyone remember? There's thousands and thousands of groups, and you can make your own group too. So a group is just a collection of people, kind of like just in Facebook, how you can join a group, and if someone posts a comment, you'll get an email, and you could, interact in that way. Teams.
Yeah, that was under the seller's handbook.
Thank you. Seller's handbook. What just, thank you. Teams. It's right under. So yeah, right at the bottom of the site, teams. And if you look at the URL, it says community.etsy.com. Here's where you could just search for anything that you're looking for. And what a team is just a support group where if you're new to selling candles, you can join the candle team, and you can ask people, how'd you sell your first candle? What kind of wax did you use? Where'd you buy it? Where'd you get those poly mailers? So it's just a chat group. Here's a marketing group. And so it gives a little information about what the group's about, and then it's a closed group. You need to be logged in and send a request to join. So then it'll just look like a forum where there's questions and answers. Yes.
I have a question about this. What about like copywriting images or logos? Does that make sense?
Yes, so copywriting, images, and logo. So if you don't have a logo, you could hire someone, or you don't really need a logo. You could go on canva.com, play around, and come up with a simple icon or image that represents your brand, or it could just be your name. So canva.com is a free tool. Copywriting is, if you're struggling, you might want to look up your people that are selling what you sell and see how they write and what they write about. And maybe you can come up with a bulleted list and then have someone help you put that into paragraph format. So yeah, copywriting is a crucial part of, but if you do look at some of these listings, some of it is just bulleted lists. So it's just a list of the features of that product. So it doesn't have to be a long narrative. See, tropical wallpapers are the latest trend in the world. These patterns will innovate your walls and make them elegant. So that's really all they wrote. And then they have a lot of bulleted lists. People like to look at those to see the quick perks or offerings for that product.
Copywriting, you mean like, I'm talking about lower. Like
Oh.
logo images for your
I'm sorry, I misheard you.
website, like if you created, I had someone help me create the logo. But does it make sense? So I want to just like take your logo and have someone create.
Yes, if it's created for you, then it's yours. Yes, you could use that. Yes, sorry.
You can have someone like sign a work for hire document, which you get just so that it says that you own it. It's a free legal thing you just say, work for hire contract.
For your logo?
The
Yeah.
logo, yeah, just so you can say that you own it.
Yeah, have them sign it when they.
Have them sign it, it's very free. So that you
Yeah.
use it for me, you're not gonna use it, I can use it.
So I was thinking more of someone who had a logo created, but someone else kind of copied, recreated the logo, and then somebody thought it was their business and it wasn't.
Yeah,
So
that
they
gets,
copyrighted the logo, the image of what created for.
okay. So yeah, in that case, if you don't want your logo to be copied, you should get it registered with a registered trademark. Yeah.
And we have books on how to do that in the library. Oh, and you can do your writing.
Okay, so you're welcome. So Rose, are you gonna closing remarks, or do you want me to? Thank you everyone for coming. Awesome.
So anyone who's here for the Make Yourself cohort, if you have time, please do so. And we've got binders over there. You can pick yours up there. Yeah,